A very good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the India Digital Enabler Awards 2020 and an Entrepreneur Live virtual summit organized by Entrepreneur Media. Well, my name is Bhavna Bhatia, and I'd love to welcome you to the India Digital Awards Enabler Awards 2020 and an Entrepreneur Live virtual summit. Well, today's show will revolve around discussions on digital teach and recognizing the digital tech community at India Digital Enabler Awards. The India Digital Enabler Awards will be celebrating individuals and organizations across India, which will enable brands to transform and enrich their lives through the benefits and opportunities created by digital technologies. IDEA, which is the India Digital Enabler Awards, is an effort to felicitate the diverse tech and digital communities who use the technology in creating a better nation and inspiring other similar communities to shine. Well, we will have sessions throughout the day till 5 p.m. along with awards in each session. Let me start by laying out some ground rules for all our attendees. Well, every session will be followed by a Q&A. So please feel free to keep posting your questions in the chat option, which will ensure that it will reach to the speaker at the end of the session if time allows. Also mention in your question if it is directed to any specific panelists. We would also like to request the attendees to keep the questions within the scope of the discussion here today and not to pitch their businesses. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this, I'd like to welcome none other than Ritu Marya, Editor-in-Chief, Entrepreneur Media, Asia Pacific and Franchise India, for the welcome note. Thank you so much, Ms. Marya, for joining us today. Over to you.
Thank you, Bhavna, and a very good morning to everybody who's joining us here today for the India Digital Enabler Awards and also for the E-Live Summit that we are going to be doing today. Indeed, it's been a odd year for us. I mean, 2020, while from the look of it should have been a great year, but it's turned out to be something very different than what we expected it to be. And now that we are at the fag end of the year, and if we were just to take an account of what this year looked like, I will say that there is one industry which has not seen a slowdown, unlike other industries, which is the IT industry and the technology industry. In fact, had this industry not been there in its current avatar today, working from home, lockdowns would probably have been a very depressing moment for all of us and probably would have made most of us redundant, as we would not have been able to carry on with our daily activities. But, having said that, it's not been easy for the technology industry either. They've also had to face very different kind of demand pressures during this time. And of course, when the old age-old business sectors, they have to think like startups today, whether it is the FMCG sector or whether it is the manufacturing sector. IT sector also has had to shift into high gear to accommodate the sudden demand that has come from the private businesses and also from government who are looking for remote working, collaboration solutions within the industry. So having said that, that while a lot of other industries will change post the pandemic, it's also true that the IT industry's facade will also change completely. And, the products that they have known and they've been servicing to their customers for many, many years would look much different from what they would probably be once the pandemic is really over and we are back to our work lives. But what is really certain is that the IT industry will profoundly change during the crisis. It's also forcing a wholesale rethinking of what it's going to take to accommodate business technology needs as we move forward to the current situation. So IT industry on its part would have to understand the real demand points and be resilient enough to be able to reach out and address the needs of the customers to be able to service them in the right manner. Of course, we have seen that technology adoption during the time of the pandemic has probably, put years' work to days' work. Businesses have adopted technology at a very, very fast pace. Cloud adoption, which was taking a while, which was slow in moving, has probably seen a lot more clever adoption, faster adoption than it would have been happening otherwise. Of course, it is also being said that it's going to be the death of the PC, and bring your own products, bring your own devices to work is also going to be the future. So this is something we would really like to see. So expertise will be in high demand, particularly in the technology sector. And I think there was a certain sort of a work culture that IT sector had brought to the world, which was working on projects. And I think this is going to be now very, very real. going forward. And people are probably not going to work for organizations, or they're not going to work for jobs, but they are going to work for certain projects. And therefore, the expertise that they bring to that project is going to be extremely of high value. And therefore, the new sort of work cultures that a lot of, not just the tech sector but also other sectors will see, will emanate from the technology or the IT sector, which is going to be something to look forward to. One thing is, so we're certainly living in very uncertain times today to understand, what the future will be. But one thing is certainly there, that technology is the way forward, and digitization of businesses is going to be the only way to survive and for a business. So business either has to be a tech business, or business has to be a tech enabled business. Now, how the IT sector addresses this needs by changing itself and being able to meet the customers' demands is really going to be the key. So today we have this full day eLive Summit, where we have experts from all across the technology sector who are going to give their views on and insights into understanding and telling us about what are the technology products that are going to be in high demand, and how the IT sector needs to be able to address these high demand sectors going forward. We have speakers from Facebook, we have speakers from Google, Tech Mahindra, Mr. Gurnani, everybody who's joining us today to share what the future of tech looks like in 2021. Indeed, we are living in interesting times, and what is to be seen is that how technology world is going to change the rest of the world forever. I welcome you all to the IDEA conference and hope you have a great day, great awards. Over to you, Bhavna.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marya, and thank you so much for joining us today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the context set right there for our wonderful event today, which is the India Digital Enabler Awards 2020 and Entrepreneur Live Virtual Summit, which is organized by Entrepreneur Media. Well, ladies and gentlemen, following the cue from Ms. Marya, now it's my honor and privilege to move on to our first session for the day, which is all about future technology, ideas that would emerge post the crisis. We're looking at key IT trends that would emerge post the crisis, solutions that will come up for work from home or hybrid models of working, dependence on cloud, and cybersecurity norms. And we're absolutely privileged and honored that we are joined by our speaker, CP Gurnani, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Tech Mahindra, who's joining us. Thank you so much, Mr. Gurnani, for joining us. Over to you.